Hey everybody, I'm Tom LeBlanc. I'm the editor of Commercial Integrator here at InfoComm 2018. Right now I'm happy to be joined by David Smith of Lencore. Hey David.
Hey, how are you?
Not bad. So one of the things I want to ask you about, and I typically do ask you about when I get a chance to interview, is about the mass notification emergency communication market. What's going on in that market right now that you can talk to us about?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a really exciting time within the mass notification market. It's being really driven through code adoption through the NFPA 72 fire alarm and signaling code, and so we're seeing that adoption occur, widespread across the country, which is really helping to drive the requirement to put mass notification systems in place. Unfortunately, we're also seeing the media, report on a lot of active shooters, which is helping to drive the market. So, the exciting part about that is that there are systems in place that, schools or other facilities can really help to, ensure the safety of their building occupants.
Okay, so, mass notification or MNEC is a big category for you guys, but so is sound masking.
That's correct.
So, it's kind of, I think, an opportunity to think about both categories together. And maybe, from your perspective, what are some ways that integrators can incorporate both MNEC and sound masking into their approaches?
Yeah, it's a great question. So from the sound masking perspective, just as a sort of a side note as it relates to the code adoption that's occurring in the marketplace, you actually have to mute any sort of ambient noise in order to not have competing signals when you're trying to create a communication, a verbal communication to building occupants. So, if you have sound masking playing and there's a fire or there's a weather related emergency that you need to inform your building occupants of, you want to mute that masking, and that's part of the code requirement. But in terms of how sound masking and mass notification relates to the integrator market, they're really primed and set up in order to take, the variety of systems, audio distribution, as well as, the visual communications, the safety protocols that exist out there, and integrate all of those into their clients' facilities to make sure that they're properly talking and working with each other, so that if they're, looking for the productivity solution on the sound masking side, that they're helping to deliver that to their clients in the market. But, God forbid that there is an emergency event that occurs, that they're able to properly communicate and deliver that message to all the building occupants no matter where they're located. So the integrator's really primed in order to make all of that design integration occur between the variety of systems that exist out there.
In both of those categories, MNEC and sound masking, they kind of speak to stuff that's going on, whether it be in the world or whether it be in priorities that, a typical AV integration customer might have. And, when you talk about, what you guys have going on in both of those categories, it kind of begs the question, how's that going to translate to sort of the future of system design? How do you see it all kind of shaking out?
Right. So, I would foresee no one really purchasing or developing or designing a system that does one thing anymore, right? So, if from our perspective, in our case, we happen to have a system that, provides mass notification, but we're hoping that we design and install a system that never gets used. And what's the point of that? Therefore, we offer a variety of other value through our system through, paging, sound masking, background music. We throw all of that in, to our system as part of the total package. And I see really more system design moving that way. It was funny, I was looking at an article the other day about RCA that put out a pamphlet, Radio Shack that put out a pamphlet of ads, and every one of their the products that they were selling was a single system, and next to it was a picture of an iPhone that could do everything that the ad was promoting all on a single device. And that's really sort of the systems direction I see really everybody going, because they want to be able to deliver more value than just a single solution.
Well, good stuff. David Smith from Lencore. Thanks for talking to Commercial Integrator.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate being here.